When I walk in a store today and there's a black person in there, do I go, a black person attacked a white lady? I saw it video. I'm gonna hit this black person in the face. I would be the biggest idiot on the planet to do that. But you see, here's the documents, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to cover these here today. No one has covered this in the 2 years since we broke it. Secret documents confirmed. Family member got these out of their family member's house. They were a commander in Antifa working directly for Alexander Soros, trying to get blacks to riot so Obama could cancel the election. Soros-backed plan to incite civil unrest, the Baltimore area. Well, finally, Candace Owens has come out and said these groups are paid to do this by white activists, communists, and that's exactly what this is. And so this is the next phase. We don't have time to go back and pull up all the clips in the last few months where I said, as the COVID-19 hoax, at least phase one, begins to dissipate, what are the globalists going to launch? And I said they're going to launch war between China, Taiwan, and Hong Kong, and they're going to intensify economic warfare and try to trigger race riots in America. Now, we're on record documenting this, and here's an article that I've promoted probably 500 times on air since 2018. Documents detail plan for civil unrest and martial law in Baltimore, Maryland. Leaked documents show detailed plan to trigger nationwide unrest, allowing Obama to declare martial law. 1 month after we got these documents, it was confirmed by federal law enforcement they were accurate. The media never disputed them. It's Friends of Democracy, run by Alexander Soros, trying to trigger with Antifa operatives, black Americans, rioting as the cover to overthrow major city governments so Obama would have a pretext to declare national martial law ahead of the election. It did not go the way they wanted to. And later it came out that the Justice Department would cherry pick cases of questionable police shootings or questionable police action. Some cases the police were wrong, other cases they weren't wrong. I'm not here lionizing the police. It's a tough job. There's some good people, there's some bad people. But the local police are not our enemy. Anybody that's lived long enough on average knows that. The cops don't put up with bad cops very long. And what happened in Minnesota that the media has hyped up now is becoming more and more suspicious. Turns out these two knew each other very well, worked as bouncers at a club together for several years. And anybody with half a brain knows you put your knee on the carotid artery of somebody. That's not a police-trained tactic. That's how you kill somebody. And I've got a friend who's been a police officer. He's been in the Army and the Marines and Blackwater and State Department and everything else, three-letter agencies. And he never wants to go on air. And he said last night, he said, I want to come on the show. And now he's got the 911 call that no one's covering because it really exposes some bizarreness. And to me, this looks like some type of inner gang operation. And you're probably going to find there's corruption going on, and this is some kind of weird police gang hooked into organized crime. So, because, I mean, why would you kill somebody on camera? I mean, why would you just go to report of somebody passing fake 20s and then kill them on camera? And so all the feds and you name it I've talked to, they're smart people who are patriots. They say, no, this looks really bad. And you're not going to hire a cop to kill somebody on camera to trigger martial law. No. But there's going to be criminal events going on. You're going to have dirty cops. You're going to have weird stuff going on. And that's what this looks like, is gangland execution. Because nobody's trained to put their knee on somebody's carotid artery. That's how you kill somebody. So why would a cop on camera kill somebody? Well, he's crazy. You know, why would that black dude beat up old white men and all this stuff? I mean, I don't blame all black people because there's some crazy black people out there. I don't blame all white people because there's some crazy white people. And when the media says this inherently is the fault of all police, and police in Austin that I know are being threatened, and they're having letters put on their cars threatening them, saying, you're all guilty for what this dude did, that's sick. You know, if my father had committed crimes, which he didn't, but hypothetically, am I to blame for the sins of the father? Or what if my great-grandfather was a bank robber? Would I be guilty for that? And you're like, absolutely not. So if a white cop does something wrong 1,000 miles away from me, whether I'm a white guy or a cop or whatever I am, how am I to blame for that? And the answer is I'm not. It's a fundamental assault on reality. We're going to talk about it all coming up. But this is the globalist surprise. This is what they're going to, this is the next thing is going to be race war. They've been priming the pump for it, and that's what it's all about. So we're going to lay out all the facts straight ahead.
It's real bogus. They got to get it right. I mean, otherwise, this was going to happen. And ain't nothing left here. So when we start coming to the suburbs, when we come to the government center, then what y'all going to do? You see what I'm saying? So, hey, that's just what's going to happen, you know?
Today, we found Corboy Bala, who invested his life savings into opening this sports bar, cleaning up. While our camera was there, looters came back to try to steal his safe.
Right, trying to steal the safe.
I don't know what we're gonna do. We worked so hard to get here. So hard.
I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is mostly a protest. It is not generally speaking unruly, but fires have been started, and there's a crowd that is.
And then here you go, folks. You got the fireworks going off in celebration of the police station burning down. And then the businesses and the community will just move out of that area, and you've got another dead zone. Another group of people that can't get a job and have to be on welfare, and the deep state wins. You're now domesticated. You're now controlled. That is the total plan. So there are a lot of facets to this. We're going to go over them all today. But remember that while we're all focused on Los Angeles and Minneapolis, St. Paul, having riots and murders and attacks and massive racial attacks on white people, nobody's covering that. While all that's going on, video has come out of Joe Biden in China saying we need China to take over the United States. That's coming up. Now, folks, when he went and said that in 2012, you're like, that's wild. Listen, if you were reading the Council on Foreign Relations, Foreign Affairs, or any big globalist publication, they said it's the Chinese century. America's done. China will teach us. They're virtuous. They're going to come here and run things. It's very China-centric. You know, you've heard the term Anglophile. It means you worship all things English. Or a Russophile means you love the Russians. Or a pedophile, you like kids. You're a arachnophobic, you don't like spiders. So you've got philes and you've got phobics. Well, the Rothschilds have bet everything on China, so have the Rockefellers, and they all brag about it. There's their publication. Rothschilds openly own. The Economist. I mean, you want to get your marching orders. That's why Joe Biden and Bill Gates and all of them say, I read The Economist cover to cover every month, and that's my Bible. That's the Rothschilds telling them how to wipe their ass. And so I'm sitting here 27 years ago doing research, about to get on air, and I'm reading Council on Foreign Relations documents. And it's, we're going to end America. We're going to leverage it out with China, one-sided deals. America's a joke. And I've been warning the public that long, and now it's all here. Kudlow's come out, the White House chief economic advisor, and said, no, we're at war with China. We're very angry. They're criminal. China is in the news threatening to invade Taiwan now, not just Hong Kong militarily. China threatens to attack Taiwan. That's the headline in Reuters, headline Daily Mail. I mean, so while we're busy watching people loot AutoZone and Target, and then mainly black businesses, because these are black neighborhoods, and it's mainly black neighborhoods. These people are like, I own this liquor store, I own this gas station, I own this grocery store. Why'd you burn my store? Oh, well, a white cop did something wrong, so I'm going to burn down this apartment building that an old black lady owned that her and her family had worked for decades to pay for. And then they burned down the police station. Turned out half the cops I saw on the news that worked at that precinct were black. Doesn't matter, it's burned down. It's stupid. It'd be like if again, God forbid, somebody did something to one of my daughters. And let's say the guy was white, did something to my daughter, and I just went and found a random white guy and hit him in the head with a hammer. You'd be like, you're an idiot. That's not the guy that did something to your daughter. I'd go find the guy that did it. You know, that's not justice. We need justice to, quote, play out. But if, say, justice didn't play out and the cop didn't get in trouble, if somebody went to the cop's house and, you know, something happened, I wouldn't really agree with it, but I'd say, hey, at least you targeted who you thought was bad. Here's an analogy. Hitler was a white guy, and he went and killed a bunch of Jews and other people. And then at the end of World War II, imagine if Jews that had run to the U.S. went to some army vet's house that had fought Hitler and lost a leg and shot the dude in the head. Well, you've got a German last name. Your last name's Gruber. Well, there was a Nazi jail guard had the name Gruber. You probably aren't even related to him, but I'm going to shoot you in the head because you're an American German and Hitler did something wrong to Jew. No Jew would do that. I mean, no sane person. But see, that's this craziness where a white cop, I can show you videos from World Star Hip Hop all day that are celebrating attacks on white people. It's disgusting, it's sick, it's evil. There's like hundreds of these a day because there's 350 million people in this country. And I could sit there and show you horrible stuff happening to white people. And I don't do it very often unless it's illustrative because I'm not trying to create race. I mean, I could show you a white lady getting attacked and stuff thrown in her face and hit with a bunch of stuff and all the rest of it. But what's the point? Oh my gosh, we've got an old white lady in a wheelchair. Let's attack her because she's white. Let's spray a fire extinguisher in her face. When I walk in a store today and there's a black person in there, do I go, a black person attacked a white lady? I saw it video. I'm gonna hit this black person in the face. I would be the biggest idiot on the planet to do that. But you see, here's the documents, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to cover these here today. No one has covered this in the 2 years since we broke it. Secret documents confirmed. Family member got these out of their family member's house. They were a commander in Antifa working directly for Alexander Soros, trying to get blacks to riot so Obama could cancel the election. Soros-backed plan to incite civil unrest, the Baltimore area. Well, finally, Candace Owens has come out and said these groups are paid to do this by white activists, communists, and that's exactly what this is. And so this is the next phase. And with less than 200 days, 157 days left, you know the globalists are going to throw everything they've got now against the wall to see what is going to stick. Now, we've got the China sellout and China expanding major wars. We've got Trump going after the internet censorship and what that really means, finally, thank God. And we've got the mail-in voting to steal the election, and we've got so much to cover. And then, in studio, David Knight was on fire this morning with all these Supreme Court rulings that what big tech's doing is illegal and wrong, and so the idea that what Trump is doing is toothless is a lie. He's going to be in studio. Robert Barnes, constitutional lawyer, is going to be in studio. Tim Enlow, who's a good friend of mine and also does security work for us, he's going to be in studio talking about his experience as local police, federal police, Army, Marine Corps, Blackwater, State Department, all of it, what he sees going on here, and with what happened with the case of this poor man that was killed, but how suspicious some of the different angles of the George Floyd death are, because none of it added up. People were like, they must have known each other. It must have been an inside deal. And now it turns out they worked as security together at a nightclub. And you know what goes on at nightclubs and what a lot of the security does. A lot of security at nightclubs traffic in narcotics. And that's who the dealers are, is who the security is. And I'm not saying that George Floyd or this cop is that. I'm just saying the chances of this starts to really get down to some questions we've got. All right, big transmission lined up on Friday. I'm Alex Jones with newswars.com and band.video. You share those links, we win. You don't, We're dead in the water. Welcome back. I'm your host, Alex Jones, and I'm really happy that the Gateway Pundit is smart, and they get it. They have a new article that just went live. Friendly reminder, Soros funded violent Ferguson protest movement and paid Black Lives Matter protesters. And again, out of 350 million people in this country, you got black folks doing bad things, you got white people doing bad things, you got brown people doing bad things. But to say that if one black person does something wrong or one white person does something wrong, and we focus in and we say, well, because a white cop looks like he did something really bad, he's been fired, he's going to get charged. Turns out they worked together as bouncers at a nightclub for a couple years. Before you burn down the city and the black businesses, how about you have a little bit of a discussion? Because, you know, before I'm going to go burn something down or kill somebody, I'm going to get my ducks in a row. But if I knew somebody did something to my family and they got away with it in court, well, let's just say I'm not going to be going around burning buildings down or random businesses. I'm going to go find the person that did it, and I'm going to take out justice. Because I can't sleep at night if I don't. But I'm sure as hell, again, not going to run around burning stuff down. But the media hypes it, and the media says it's okay. CNN, MSNBC are up there going, they're angry. They deserve it. They're mad. And they've beat up a bunch of white people. And who do you think's in those poor neighborhoods? It's a bunch of disabled, homeless white people, people in wheelchairs. You're a black teenager and you saw a black guy killed on TV, and I get it. I don't like watching the footage of anybody dying like that. It tears at your heartstrings, somebody begging for their life. What happened to George Floyd looks terrible, and I think it's wrong. But now you burn down your own neighborhoods. Oh, the answer is, don't worry, we're coming to your suburbs. Well, who lives in those? People of every color. This is so racist, and it's the media and the leftist mayor playing along with it like, oh, yeah, this is because of 400 years of slavery. Really, who sold us the slaves? And whites had slaves back then that were white. I mean, I could go back in my family tree and find out something like that and go, well, you know, because somebody enslaved me 300 years ago, I can do whatever I want. What does that even mean? What does that even have to, imagine if I work with somebody and I go, let me check your genealogy to see if your ancestor did anything wrong, because I'm going to hold you accountable. You look at somebody like they were crazy. Truth is, everybody wants to get into white countries because white countries went through a renaissance and became Christian and said we want to treat people good. And so compared to other places, we've been really good. And that's why the globalists want to overthrow the European ethos of Christianity, because if you can get rid of that, people won't stand up for each other, and it's the law of the jungle. And it's not about race, it's about the spirit of the people. And that spirit's being overturned. So there's a bunch of these videos, but let's go through some of them. Here is rioter. We're going to start coming to the suburbs. Well, let me just tell you something, my friend. If you come to my house, you think you're going to burn my house down? It's not going to happen. That's what Trump tweeted yesterday. He said, listen, the riots need to stop. Pretty soon, we're going to have to shoot rioters. That's what you do. You're trying to burn things down. That's a weapon. Twitter banned Trump for that. Block that. So here's that clip. Here it is.
It's real bogus. They got to get it right. I mean, otherwise, this was going to happen. And ain't nothing left here. So when we start coming to the suburbs, when we come to the government center, then what y'all going to do? You see what I'm saying? So, hey, that's just what's going to happen, you know?
So in the black community, which is the target of the globalist operation, and I'm not defending segregation, it was another evil. This was an even greater evil. You had less unemployment and less illegitimacy in the black community in the 1940s than in the white community. And now you've got almost 80% single parent homes in the black community. You got about half the people in the black community on welfare. Well, after you burn down all the black stores, who's going to have jobs now? So see, he's saying, oh, well, we'll come to your neighborhood and burn it down. And burn it down, and burn it down. Who wants that? The globalists, the Chi-Coms, the New World Order. China is financing all this Hollywood stuff about race war and the rest of it. China is the most racist country other than probably North Korea on the planet. China doesn't let one Muslim into their country. China literally looks down on black people. Xi Jinping admires Hitler on record and believes black people aren't human. Think about that. I mean, have you looked at the Chinese folks? I mean, man, they look just alike for a reason. So you sit there in the belly of freedom and the belly of Christianity. We got our own problems, but we climbed up the mountain towards God a lot. You know, we're still not there, but we're trying to be good. And you sit there and use the goodness and say that this is the crap hole and that we're the people that hate it. BS! We had a civil war that millions of people died in slavery. Nobody else does that. The British government, under Christian control, had over 20 years of war against dozens of countries. They would attack you if you had slaves. The United States and England ended slavery. Christians ended slavery in the West. And it's still practiced all over the world by the brown people that we're told are superior to white people. That's more racist crap. And that Nazi collaborator, George Soros, is funding every damn bit of it and laughing his way with his little degenerate demon son all the way to the bank. So I'm glad people are finally getting this, because you talk about an FBI indictment. I mean, if I was running around funding billions of dollars to burn stuff down and kill people, and I mean, I would expect to be SWAT teamed. I should. They've got all these TV shows where I'm this mastermind running all this stuff, and it's all a projection of what they're doing. I can't even get my email to work properly. I'm just up on there talking about the truth. Oh, but I'm a mastermind. I secretly run everything. But these guys, they do actually run it. Here's another clip. Black business owner who invested his life savings and they destroyed his restaurant and bar. Here it is.
Today, we found Corboy Bala, who invested his life savings into opening this sports bar, cleaning up. While our camera was there, looters came back to try to steal his safe.
Right, trying to steal the safe.
I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna work so hard to get you. So hard.
By the way, if I've got a business in a safe, if you're white, if you're brown, if you're black, you're in my business trying to steal my stuff, I'm going to kill you. But everybody, because the mayor and the police evacuating, the mayor's like, it's the white people. He's a white guy, of course. He's a commie. We deserve it. We're bad. So that now you go in your business, people are looting it in front of you, and you're too scared to even beat their ass. That's called submission. That's called broke back. That's you're crying. I'm not against this guy because I get it. I mean, maybe I do the same thing. Like, nope, they're just going to arrest me if I shoot people in my business. Okay, damn, take it all. Maybe that guy's right. But I mean, when you run up a flag like that and just say, oh, just burn down my business, just take everything. We got a black guy got killed, so we're gonna take your business away. What the hell does that even mean? But the media says it's good, you see. They're the ones legitimizing this. These are sick people. Remember the Los Angeles riots? The media said it was good to shoot at firefighters. We don't win this in 157 days. It's going to be decades of hell. We're going to be in the Soviet Union like the Russians. We may be under 80 years of them kicking the snot out of us. We'll come out of it on the other end, but man, they're going to kill they're going to kill everybody. I mean, they're going to drink your freaking blood. They're going to rape your children. I mean, let me tell you something. You go, people living in America, they're like, that sounds crazy. Get ready. They're going to stomp your guts out in a gulag for decades because that's what they want, is to rape good people. The very same scum that did that in Russia are like literally just sitting there salivating over what they're about to do to you and your family. So whatever energy you got, whatever it is you need to do, you need to decide, hey, you want to bend over and take it, or you want to stand up and fight? This is where we fight. This is where we stand. This is who we are. We're not backing down. And we got Jesus Christ on our side. CNN is Chi-Com funded. CNN is Muslim Brotherhood funded. You ask why the police finally understand what's happening and arrested the CNN reporters. The intel is they're operatives behind the scenes were obviously directing things. You've got other MSNBC reporters, others saying there's no rioting happening with buildings on fire behind them. That's like Mars attack. They're shooting you going, don't run, we're your friends. This is so in your face. And again, I just showed you the documents earlier, the smoking gun. Soros funding plans for race-based martial law with out-of-town groups brought in on buses, almost all white leftist communists. I don't want to bash white people, but I mean, it is almost all white people that are trying to manipulate black people into rioting and doing this to get it to go nationwide to then stall the economy for the Chi-Coms. Here is the local police in Minnesota actually announcing this.
Hearing from our local community leaders that many of the people that were involved in the criminal conduct last night were not known Minneapolitans to them. And so, yes, there were certainly people who were involved in the activities last night that were certainly not recognized as being here from the city.
You can't take America on head on. You take our wounds, you take issues we've had, you exacerbate them, and you use a cop who deserves to be charged, in my view, putting this knee on somebody's carotid artery. Manslaughter bare minimum. Well, he's already been fired. The word is he's going to get indicted. So why, when a black person kills a white person, everybody doesn't riot? Because the media is telling everyone to do it. Let's go back to this. Minneapolis rioters set fire to the precinct. And again, they shoot off fireworks and celebrate it. Here it is. Oh, but the mayor came out and said, make sure you social distance yourself for that whole hoax. And you got all the little trendy white guys out there, the allies, that are like, we agree. We don't care about the half the black babies being aborted. We don't care about real issues. We just, oh, this guy died, so the media told us burn everything down, so we did. Now let's show what happened right before this. Minneapolis police officers abandoned the 3rd precinct because when people are coming with Molotov cocktails to commit attempted murder, to burn you up, the answer is run. And now the answer is we're coming to your suburb to get you white people. Imagine a group of white folks saying we're coming to your neighborhoods to get you. This is, and you got, all the rappers going, it's time to fight back. They never say a damn thing about abortion. They never say a damn thing about eugenics or all the autism of boys. 1 in 35,000 had it. Now it's 1 in 50-something. How boys are under attack. It's all about taking that one thing when the media says, because Joe Biden, is out there saying, you're not black if you don't vote for me. That's a big faux pas. So now this gets triggered. Minneapolis police officer abandons, the police officers abandon the 3rd precinct. Here it is. You know what statistics really show? Cops don't take black guys to jail for almost anything, or women. The statistics show they're twice as likely per capita to shoot whites. In most cases, the white person is trying to hurt the cop. It's justified. Some cases it's not. The point is that the police are just going to evacuate your area, and then you're going to have total crime. But Ice Cube, how many cops have to kill black Americans before we strike back? It's funny, Ice Cube, I have the statistics. I'll get to those next hour. But the fact that there's 10-to-1 black on white attacks, 10-to-1, it's still a low statistic, but compared. I mean, let me tell you, the Urkel imitation of a white person is pretty accurate. The average white person is not out there looking for trouble. That's just what I've experienced. Now, I grew up in Dallas. I had a lot of black friends. And I also got attacked because I was white. Now, didn't blame all black people because of that? No, I didn't. But let me tell you, the average black person whining and bitching about all the things Whitey did to them, give me a break. That's not true. White people on average, a bunch of insecure people that kiss your ass all day long. And at the end of the day, who you're scared of when you're walking down the street at night. Because that's what's happened in the degradation and the Democratic Party plantation. That wasn't happening in the black community 70, 80 years ago. I've got the statistics. They were some of the most orderly, successful groups, their own hotels, their own restaurants, their own everything. But, and I'm not saying go back to segregation, but that oppression made them stronger. Instead, oh, the man gives you money now to not have a man in the home. What has it done to your community? It's destroyed it. It's the same formula for us all. What did LBJ say about this? His great, society? He said, we're going to get these N-words on welfare. We'll own them and control them for 100 years. Well, it's been 60 years. So you want another 40 of this? Because I'll tell you, Donald Trump's not trying to enslave you. Donald Trump gets this as a time bomb. He's trying to fix this. Donald Trump wants to sell you golf memberships no matter what color you are. He really likes you. So do I. I want success, man. I don't want burnout cities and everybody killing each other and acting like a bunch of idiots. But that's where it's going. Now, here is the disgusting clip. The Minneapolis mayor, Jacob Frey, anger shown as a result of 400 years of slavery. So you're going to burn down mainly black businesses to show whitey. Oh, and you're there encouraging it, you see. Here it is.
What we've seen over the last 2 days and the emotion-ridden conflict
look how fake this guy
last
is.
night is the result of so much built-up anger and sadness.
Listen to what a fake
Anger
he is.
And sadness that has been ingrained in our black community, not just because of 5 minutes of horror, but 400 years. If you're feeling that sadness and that anger, it's not only understandable, it's right.
Well, listen, son, you're not getting an Oscar for this.
Reflection of the truth that our black community
Look at that little oily turd.
While not from lived experience, that sadness must also be understood by our non-black communities. To ignore it, to toss it out, would be to ignore the values we all claim to have.
You know, if black people found out that Planned Parenthood and the Democratic Party targeted them and killed 30 million black people or whatever, then I could see kind of burning down Democrat facilities. I'm not saying do that. But this guy's saying this is all legitimate to burn down black neighborhoods because he wants you totally controlled. He's a dirty communist trained by Soros. Look at that little oily turd. He's a controller. There ain't no black people live around him, I guarantee you. Get him off the screen. This is just getting insane. Let's go to clip 14. Armed citizens stand with protesters but defend stores from looters. Yeah, the protesting is one thing. The looting and burning is another. Here it is.
So tell me who you are.
Well, I mean, free Americans, yeah.
And what are you doing today?
We were out here yesterday too, down on the original protest site. So basically, you've seen the records that cops keep. And cops are a lot less likely to try and tread on people's rights when there's other armed Americans with them. So we figured it's about damn time that some really...
That old boy's got a half a can of Copenhagen in his lip.
Rednecks stood with fellow citizens.
And why are you protecting this store?
Well, I mean, this wasn't exactly a specified action. We've been kind of, so we just kind of ended up here.
We've been moving around and just trying to see what's what without getting necessarily completely slapped by massive groups of people. And while we were walking, somebody mentioned that there were some guys at the back of us after we wanted to know if they were over to go buy something, and they said that they're closed and they're defending their businesses. Oh yeah, Target's on fire. Yeah. By the way.
Yeah.
But and anyway, so we heard that. We're like, well, we better kid up and go see if these guys need help. And turns out these guys are out here with machetes and shattered windows trying to keep looters out of the business because cops can't get in here.
By the way, if you're going to burn something, I'm not saying burn anything, but Target's a good place to start. I mean, that is a globalist, leftist. It's kind of funny that that's what people are burning when they're fighting this whole race war thing. It's such an evil company. But don't burn anything, folks. You're only going to hurt innocent people. So there you go. This is the next surprise, folks, and it's going to get crazier and crazier. I mean, you know, China is announcing that they are preparing to invade Hong Kong and Taiwan. I mean, that's like all over the foreign news. We're just busy about one dude dying, and they're going to charge the cop. We've got a very informed person coming in to talk about this coming up. Then we'll look at Trump and his move against big tech censorship that Yahoo claims is toothless. Well, it's only toothless if the president doesn't press the attack. Infowars.com. Spread those live links. Listen, I had my lawyer on the phone, my family lawyer, really nice guy, smart guy this morning. And he said, so you really, his mother's a nutritionist, retired. He goes, so you are taking your zinc and taking your vitamin D3 and taking all this? And I said, yeah, on a regular basis because they're called essential. You know, the media's like, Jones claims he's got a COVID-19 cure selling zinc pills that I've been selling for years. No, it's not a cure. Oxygen is not a cure for asphyxiation. You just asphyxiate if you don't have it. Somebody already hung you because you're a traitor. Well, no, oxygen's not going to help because your brain's dead. But they play these little games like, you say your krill oil has D3 in it. Because they play on the ignorance of the public. Folks, I take D3 because it makes me have more virility than when I was 16 years old. I take X2 because it makes me younger and stronger. And of course, it's essential and it's pure. I take Turbo Force when I got to go to a rally or do some event and I'm already exhausted and already worked 10 hours. And I have trouble going to sleep and wish I didn't take it. It's too strong. It's the strongest, clean 10-hour energy you're going to find. That's what it's formulated for. The big sale of last week, a lot of stuff sold out, so it had to partially end. But we have the Memorial Day special that's extended, but not much longer. I've just been so busy, I haven't come up with new specials. This is the biggest special of the year so far. Take advantage of it. Super Male Vitality is amazing. 40% off. Knockout is incredible. Sleep aid. I designed that. 50% off. Brain Force Plus, the big nootropic that we've not had on sale since Christmas. That's 50% off. That's a big fan favorite. That's not like energy. That's brain energy. It's a different thing. Bio True Selenium, 60% off. That's amazing. That's essential. Well, what's Bio True mean? It's from the mustard seed. It's totally organic. It's the strongest one out there. And I'm always honest with you. Got a side effect if you already have male pattern baldness to make your hair fall out. Chill Force, amazing, 60% off. Emery's Essentials hand sanitizer combo, 3 different great scents. 8-pack Power Stack, the best deal we've got at cost, 70% off. DNA Force Plus, 50% off. That's the most important thing other than the next two. They're right up there at the top together. I can't decide which one's better. They just did both too good. Living Defense plus 50% off. Limited edition InfoWars face mask, $9.95 if you got to do the whole clown dance. Might as well get the word out while you're at it. Triiodine's going to sell out soon. Azo Beats 40% off. And a bunch of other stuff is about to sell out as well. And again, you need water. You need air to live. You need food. What's in food? Vitamins and minerals. Well, if you can get concentrated, high-quality versions of those key elements, that's what you do at InfoWarsStore.com, then it funds the InfoWar. It is the InfoWar, and it's real. Everybody now knows, man, we weren't playing around. This stuff's all real.
As the pressure to wear masks in public rises, it's important to be able to keep yourself safe while making a statement. That's why we created the limited edition InfoWars face mask. The easiest way to stay safe from incoming germs while showing your support for patriotism and freedom in the face of tyranny. Easy to use, just slip it on your way to work, the store, or anywhere that mandates a mask around you. These also make great gifts or purchases for friends, family members, neighbors, or anyone else concerned about their safety in public. If you must stay safe, you might as well stay stylish. Get the limited edition InfoWars face mask today at InfoWarsStore.com.